victory Monday morning. They won't stop. 40-7. We will not stop talking about that. 40 points for this offense over the league's #1 defense. Welcome to Cover 4. Dave, Tay, and Jesse. It's going to be a good one, Dave. I know you've got a great kickoff for us, big fella.
Yeah, I mean, you watch the game, so you know, but I can't quite get over it, to be honest with you. In a league where 10 points is a big win, the Dallas Cowboys just completely dismantled the best defense in the league, like Lindsay said. I mean, like I said, I know you saw it, but I just hope everybody appreciates how rare and how not often that type of stuff happens. Just a total domination. Hats off to the Cowboys. I saw a lot of things coming. I did not see that at all.
Something I didn't see coming, Dave, is my love and appreciation for Brett Maher. Brett Maher is currently the GOAT to me. This season, Brett Maher is the GOAT. Last season, it was Jeff Heath. He still resigned. You know, he still has his GOAT status. But Brett Maher is doing his thing. He's actually second in the NFC for scoring, right behind Todd Gurley. He scored 4 field goals yesterday, made all the point after attempts. Yes, he had the first field goal he missed, but I love to see a second chance story. Just beautiful.
Yesterday, being at the game, I didn't know what kind of dress attire to go with. No one expected the Cowboys to completely dominate and just put the nail in the coffin on the Jacksonville Jaguars. So today, I dressed to impress for a funeral. And that right there goes to the Jacksonville Jaguars, who were beaten to death yesterday by the Dallas Cowboys.
6 feet under. Yes,
it's true.
Keeping it 100. All right, there were a lot of people. Let's go back to last week. Leading up to this game, Cole Beasley was on Twitter all week long. There were questions. Is this locker room falling apart? Cole Beasley saying, hey, I should be paid. I'm as good as DeAndre Hopkins, blah, blah, blah. Well, guys, I was surprised to see him back it up the way he did last night. I'm going to be honest.
Absolutely, Lindsay. That was one of the biggest focal points that first half was that Cole Beasley was on one. I mean,
100-yard game, 2 touchdowns, all over the field.
The only thing that I have to say, though, is that he was going up against Tyler Patman. In that first half, he was up against Tyler Patman, who is a former cornerback for the Dallas Cowboys, who just was never good for the Cowboys. Apparently, he got on one of the best defenses.
Taylor is on one.
I'm just saying.
Hey,
when he went on to AJ Bouye.
I completely agree with you. It's not Cole Beasley's fault that the Jaguars are stupid, though.
Yeah.
They have 2 fantastic cornerbacks named AJ Bouye and Jalen Ramsey. Decided not to use him against the Cowboys' best receiver in the first half. I'm fine with it. I'm not complaining.
Sometimes your arrogance gets the best of you.
And it did for the Jags.
How about Dak Prescott, though, guys? We all said he needed to get back on track in order for this offense to succeed. That's exactly what he did. Looking fresh.
Okay.
I love this opening
Future
shot.
so bright.
Got into the end zone on his own on a fake handoff to Zeke, and he obviously did the McGregor walk after. But for Cowboys fans, this is the Dak that they know and remember, so they got to feel encouraged.
Here's the thing. I love that Dak played this well without throwing for 200 yards. I'm tired of hearing I'm tired of hearing that stupid stat. It doesn't matter. It's all about how you play. I know you need to be able to throw the ball in the NFL, but if you're hitting the throws you do make, you're running for 80 yards on the ground, moving the chains, 200 yards is arbitrary if you're playing that well. I love to see it, especially with the 11 rush attempts. 11
rush attempts is the key. Way to go, big fella.
Dak Prescott, he played a phenomenal game yesterday. He came out. We saw a little bit of everything that Dak Prescott can do. He threw the ball deep. He threw the ball short. He threw the ball to the guys who were hot at the time, Cole Beasley. And then when he had to, he ran. He got himself out of a lot of troublesome spots yesterday, and he ran for 88 yards. The only 2 things that Dave, you and I going back and forth with this.
Nitpicking. You're about to nitpick.
I am about to nitpick. I am, because I kind of looked forward a little bit, but how many of those runs were design runs and how many of those runs were let me save my tail end run? And again, under 200 yards passing in a game, that might hurt you when you got to go into a shootout against a better team.
Maybe. Not if you're running for 200 yards.
We'll wait and see, but definites for you, not maybes.
No.
Jalen Smith and Leighton Vander Esch are great together. Guys, it was crazy to do the comparison of, hey, are we watching Miles Jack out here? Are we looking at Jalen Smith? I mean, to me, Jalen Smith was clearly the better guy that day.
Yeah, that's my Ebony and Ivory group right here, right?
You've been saying that.
Ebony and Ivory, Jalen Smith and Leighton Vander Esch. And what these guys are able to do is just being young and energetic. And we know and we all love Sean Lee, and we want him to come back as soon as possible. But these 2 guys are going to make it very hard for Sean Lee to come back and get a lot of those meaningful reps that he had before. He may be coaching from the sideline because these 2 young studs are playing some fantastic football, and we're looking at our future linebacking core right there, Ebony and Ivory. Job well done, fellas.
We really are fortunate to have the seats that we do here at the Star in Frisco. Our desks are located right over the practice field. And today we saw Sean Lee practicing in the rain. He's all suited up, had his uniform on and everything, just to see his dedication, determination to get back on that field. Practicing in the rain is just the epitome of Sean Lee to me. I know he's watching Leighton Vander Esch and Jalen Smith too, but he's also knowing that he needs to get it back out there.
Yeah.
All right, last person we got to hit on, and that is Ezekiel Elliott. Cool 100-yard game. The Cowboys left him in so that he could get that big notch, but this wasn't a game where everyone was looking to Zeke to carry the team, which is a good thing, right, Dave?
Well, it was a workmanlike performance for him. I don't want to downplay 24 carries for 106 yards.
No.
Touchdown from 15 yards out against that defense is phenomenal. But this is what it looks like when other guys pick up the slack, when your receivers are catching balls, when your quarterback is playing well. Honestly, 106 yards is not a crazy tally for what we've seen from Ezekiel Elliott. But if Dak Prescott is adding that running element, keeping the defense off balance, he doesn't have to do it all himself. That's the point I was trying to make about the passing yards.
The good thing about what Zeke Elliott is able to do is it's not necessarily always about the big chunk yards, but it's those yards that are just body blows that hit you hard.
Just
then
wears you down.
He wears you down, and late in the fourth quarter, you're able to bust some of those runs open in the game. And so Zeke Elliott came out yesterday, and this was, he did what you need a running back to do in a game like this.
Body blows, eh?
Conor McGregor style?
Conor McGregor
Getting
style.
talk of the town, Tay?
Oh, I'm getting there
Come
because Mr. Byron Jones, who's just silently the dopest cornerback in the league, he said that today the Cowboys won, but more importantly, I was able to get 2 solid body shots on Conor McGregor. He spelled Conor wrong, we'll forgive him.
Conor.
And I lived.
Conor McGregor.
And that happened when you saw our intro that Caden Gates made. You saw him just getting so hyped, but this was really cool too. Jory Epstein shared this tweet about Ezekiel Elliott, who's been wearing the bracelet for Silver Strong, for Jake Silver, who is fighting cancer. Brought his family to the game, which is very cool.
Such a game to be at.
This is a story that goes all the way back to 2016, too.
Yes.
That's the cool part. Is
Yes.
like he's been keeping up with this family for, what, like 2, 3
Very cool. And it's crucial catch.
Yeah.
Zeke is turning his image around, man.
really
He's
has.
turning
He's
his image
different.
around. He's different. He's becoming a leader. You're starting to see Zeke mature a lot.
Keep it up, big fella.
All right, Luka Doncic might just be our secret weapon for the Cowboys. Father John Zesty, if you guys don't know, that's Mike Marshall, our former producer, said that Cowboys are now 3-0 in games that he attends. The only thing I have to say to this is, where is he sitting? Because nobody has seen him.
He's laying low.
Laying in the cut.
He really
He's-
is.
He's waiting for his big debut with the Mavs before he goes full public.
But what happens is when the season starts in 2 days?
Didn't
Will
it
he
really
be
start
there?
in 2 days?
Well, check this out. Michael Gallup, the rookie, who just might have had his big debut, had the big catch, then the almost touchdown, but it looks like he's walking on air.
Have y'all
Actually
ever
walking on air.
Have y'all ever seen Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon?
Is that what this is to you?
reminds me of. Yeah.
Honestly, Dave, I think you might have shared this for Lindsay and I to see. Salty.
Talking mess.
That's what Lindsay said. She put mess in air quotes. Yes, mess. So,
I mean, he told the media, he was like, all right, that's enough. Stop bullying on the offense, okay? They can
is that a team? Is that a sign of a good team?
Tyrone is
Picking
such a
each
leader.
other up. Picking each other up. I like it.
Taking a quick break here. When we come back, we're going to go back and look at the top 5 plays of yesterday. Who doesn't want to revisit that game? 40-7, the most dominant performance in a long, long time.
Here he goes, Wade. Throw to Beasley. Touchdown. At the 10-yard line by Tank Lawrence.
Hey Dallas Cowboys fans, I'm Danny Surek at the AT&T Media Center. Sunday's win for the Cowboys against the Jaguars marked the first time the Cowboys started a season 3-0 at home at AT&T Stadium. It's also the first time the Cowboys have started a season 3-0 at home since 1999. The Cowboys beat the Jags 40-7 and will now have to take that momentum on the road as they prepare to face Washington. The Cover 4 crew will break down the top plays from Sunday's game, so stay tuned.
How will history define us?
The perfect size?
Perfect hair?
Every box checked?
No, we set the tone.
We
are works of art. Who we are is not defined by what they say, but by what we create.
The legacy we build.
Fire in our souls.
We are strong.
We are unstoppable.
We
are Cowboys fans.
If this defense comes out and gets there, has to be considering the talent you guys have.
When you guys have played together a lot as a secondary, how do you kind of explain some of the blown assignments that you guys had early in this game?
Coach said that he felt like it wasn't an effort issue, it was a miscommunication issue. Would you agree with that?
Jalen, what challenge did Cole Beasley pose today?
Defense usually plays with a lot of swagger and confidence. What needs to happen to kind of get you guys mojo back?
I don't know. How you got what?
It's crazy when you can't talk because your mouth is so full of humble pie that you
Ooh.
can't even talk.
I don't know.
Poor guy.
I don't know.
Poor guy.
I don't know.
Anyways, moving on, Dave is soft, obviously. So we are going to top 5 plays of last night. Jalen, I know this pumped everyone up. Forced fumble is huge. Jordan Lewis was there to recover. We talked about how much Jordan Lewis needs to mentally be back on the field and get in it, and that's what he did.
Yeah, this is Jalen Smith, who actually knew what was going on in the game.
Hey.
And Jalen Smith was able to capitalize off of that because of the fact this forced fumble, it brought the defense even more spark. You saw it. It's been going on. They know they're the strength of the team, but Jalen Smith done it again.
Number 4 on top 5 plays, Ezekiel Elliott. Yes, he was wearing the pink. He was doing it all last night for the Cowboys. This was one of those nights where you weren't going to stop it.
I love that Zeke running for a touchdown is 4th on this list because, again, it means other people were doing their job. We know what Zeke can do, but I think I said it in the first segment. You go 15 yards, basically untouched to the goal line against supposedly the best defense in the NFL.
Pretty crazy.
That's demoralizing.
Good point.
Air quotes all day.
Number 3, the GOAT, the heater, whatever we want to call him.
GOAT.
The Cowboys finally got a favorable bounce, you guys.
We're not calling him the heater.
That's his nickname.
Taylor does.
That's his nickname. That's what he wants to be called, David.
It can be Heath on the spot. Because when you look at Jeff Heath, he's always Johnny on the spot. Every time.
Timely.
What
What he does is so timely.
And people try to get rid of Jeff Heath, but he keeps making plays like this over and over and over again.
When did the Cowboys ever
That's why he's continually be on the field for the Cowboys.
If you want to get rid of Jeff Heath, we can't be friends. Straight up. Like, I don't
Who
want to talk to you.
does?
I don't want to.
Flake Bortles.
Who does?
I don't know. Bums.
Jeez.
Idiots. The GOAT forever. He's
Number
always
2.
He's always in place.
Number 2 on our list, one of Cole Beasley's touchdowns because he had 2 on the evening. He was untouchable. This one, Jalen Ramsey wanted no part of.
Jalen Ramsey did not want that smoke, and that cracks me up. Well, I'm a small guy. So I love Cole Beasley for that fact, like the fact that a guy my size is excelling in the NFL, and for an all-pro corner to not want any part of 5'8" Cole Beasley just cracks me up.
In the press box, I get a chance to sit next to Tony the Thrill Hill, who is a longtime friend of Cole Beasley, coached him in high school in basketball, and he said Cole Beasley reached out to me this week and was saying how he's really going to be in the game plan. So Cole Beasley was calling anybody and everybody who would listen to tell him, hey, this is going to be a game that I get loose. And sure enough, he did yesterday.
Absolutely.
Number 1, obviously, we showed it to you earlier, Dak Prescott, MVP of the game. He just seemed to be feeling himself, you guys. When he's confident and he's moving out of the pocket, doing his thing, that's when the Cowboys are at their best.
Yeah, you know, Dak Prescott, he's done this before. We've seen him have these light-up performances. And last night, I think it might have been John Machota of Dallas Morning News who shared a picture of his high school football coach was in attendance there last night. Guys, because Dak has been doing these types of games since high school. He did it for Mississippi State against LSU, and, you know, he did it against the Cowboys.
It seems unnecessary that you had to bring that up. Let Dak run the ball.
Wow, Davis.
He's good at it.
He's
good at it.
Sound off.
And there she goes again.
That and more of this offense, guys. Can they keep it up? Because at this point, I feel like we've seen it, the fans have seen it, what they're capable of. So a step backwards is just absolutely unacceptable.
Jesse, I think we're in agreement here.
Yeah.
I think we're in agreement.
You
Jesse
guys?
and I, yes, well, Jesse and I have both been saying that this team is a good team. They're just in pieces, and I still see that. I still see just certain pieces. If you guys saw Cole Beasley's post-game reaction last night, he was surprised that that was his second 100-yard game. He thought it was his first. He forgot the game in 2016 against Philly. So, I'm sorry, Cole Beasley, I'm glad you were in the game plan this week. Do that again.
Yeah, hey, this is great. And if you can do this to the best defense in football statistically, you got talent. Like, you should be able to piece this together. But this is the first time we've seen it in 6 weeks. Even against Detroit and New York, their other 2 wins, they didn't look like this. So I'm encouraged. I'm optimistic. Like, the straight-up dominance suggests that they can put this together. I got to see it. Because it's just been so frustrating up to this point. I'm not ready.
Dak, when he says, I mean, he told us in the locker room this week, I know where this goes.
Yes.
We're just a few plays away every week. Do you guys believe that?
It's their job to believe that. And this suggests that it's true. But I need to see to believe.
And you can break almost any football game down to about 3 or 4 plays that kind of gives you the game or takes the game away from you.
Breaks.
The Cowboys have to be consistent in making those plays, and they had the ball bounce twice in their favor yesterday for Dak Prescott on 2 balls that he fumbled. It took a fortuitous bounce right back into his gut. So sometimes they go for you, sometimes they go against you.
The great thing about the NFL is that you don't have to wait longer than 6 days to get answers to your questions. So they'll be at FedEx Field on Sunday to give us a show. So show us if they can follow up on it.
Show us.
Show us, Jesse. Show us an OT right now.
Well, I always love when coaches say, I don't hear what the media says. I don't know what they're talking about because we don't pay attention to those things. Well, after this game, the running back coach for the Cowboys, he comes out and he's looking for reporters to say, this we're talking about our offense. So we want to say, hey, coaching staff, we appreciate you guys listening to us. We work hard, and we know you do too. Keep up the good work, big fellas.
This is a big shout out to Lindsay's papa, who sent her a text yesterday during the game and said, we know why Dak's playing so well. Tony Romo's watching. That's true, because the last game last year when Tony Romo came back to AT&T Stadium for the first time against the Chiefs looked very familiar to yesterday. Now the second game against the Chargers, not so much. That will be answered this weekend as Tony Romo and the CBS crew will be calling that game as well. Soon to be determined, Papa.
Speaking of texting, Taylor alluded to it. Cole Beasley was texting everybody, calling everybody, letting them know that he thought he was going to have a big game. Dak Prescott getting texts late on a Friday night about Cole Beasley's game, which Dak, as somebody with a short, hyperactive coworker who likes to text me at all hours of the day, just like to say, appreciate your patience, and hey, it worked out for you, so it's okay.
So it worked out for you too?
Yeah, it works out here all the time.
I never send Dave you up
Thank you guys
texts.
for tuning in. We'll be back here tomorrow. Another Cover 4 tomorrow.
Hey, sweep the leg.
Y'all are crazy.